All right, welcome everybody to another episode of the Florida Physique Report. This is episode number 43. Today is October 1st, 2015. And on today's show, we are going to go over the results of two competitions that took place last weekend out in Florida. Two very big competitions. The first one was the 2015 Ruby Championships, which took place on September 25th in Boca Raton, Florida. Andreas Miller was the promoter there. Very big contest. And then we're going to go over the results of the Daytona Beach Classic, another big contest promoted by Mike Matassa and Tony Curtis out in, of course, Daytona Beach. So we're going to go over the results of that in a minute. All right, we've got two guests on the show this week. The first guest is Tim Gardner. Of course, everybody in Florida knows Tim Gardner. He is NPC IFBB judge. He is also a big-time promoter. He promotes 3 pro shows. He did one out in Texas this year. He also does the Chicago Pro Show, and he does, of course, the big Tampa Bay Pro Show. And he is also a promoter of the MPC Hurricane Bay. That was his very first contest that he started, I think, about 16 years ago. So we did an interview with Tim at the Tampa Bay Pro Show that I never had a chance to put up. So we talked a little bit, of course, about that contest and about Tim's career as a promoter and a judge himself. So we're going to put that interview up today, so you'll get a chance to see that interview. And of course, Tim has the Hurricane Bay coming up this weekend on October 3rd. It's going to be out in Tampa, Florida at Jefferson High School. It's the Hurricane Bay and the Natural Typhoon Bay. He has a Typhoon Bay contest that goes along with the Hurricane Bay that's a drug-tested contest. So that will take place again this weekend, October 3rd. We will be there at floridaphysique.com to cover the show. It's always a good show. It's always good to see a lot of local Tampa Bay competitors competing, and there's always a lot of good competition. The other guest we have on the show today, his name is Collin Robinson. He is a men's physique competitor. He just competed last weekend at the MPC Ruby Championships. He won his class in the Men's Physique Open. So we had a chance to talk to Collin. He is down in the South Florida area, but we were able to interview him. Always good to talk to some of the competitors from the South Florida area. A lot of times I just talk to the people in the Central Florida area. So I'm glad we had a chance finally to talk to one of the athletes from the South Florida area. All right, so without further ado, let's go over the results of the Ruby Championships. Like I said, this was a very big contest, took place last weekend in Boca Raton, Florida on September 25th. They had a total of 271 competitors. It was a huge event, national qualifying show, so very, very big contest. I'm going to go over the results real quick of all the different divisions. We'll start off with the men's bodybuilding and the masters division. The over 40 winner went to Otis Britt. Otis, you remember, just competed in the Gainesville Classic a couple weeks ago, and he said he was going for the show, and he won. He won the over 40 class, so congratulations to Otis. The over 35 division was won by Stephen Reese, a very impressive bodybuilder. Stephen's very tall, wide shoulders, small waist. He won the over 35, and then the overall Masters Men's Bodybuilding, Stephen Reese was the winner. Teen bodybuilding went to San Tubero. The novice bodybuilding winner was Michael Vizaga. And the men's bodybuilding open, the middleweight class, went to Jose Oliscaga, who was also a winner at the Precision Fit Body just a couple weeks ago. So congratulations to Jose, he's cleaning up. The light heavyweight division went to Cliff Parker. Cliff also won this division in the light heavyweights in the men's bodybuilding open at the Precision Fit Body. So congratulations to Cliff, he's got a very good physique. Stephen Reese was the heavyweight winner, and in the overall, Stephen Reese won his second overall victory of the night. He won the men's bodybuilding open. So Stephen's got a really, really good structure, really good wide shoulders. If you put a little more size on his legs maybe because he's such a tall competitor, I think he would really do well on the national level. Also want to mention Arturo Mendez was second place in the heavyweight class to Stephen Reese, and Arturo won Best Poser Award. So it's great that they give out a Best Poser Award for the bodybuilders. That's an excellent incentive for these guys to work on their routines. The Women's Physique Open and Masters division went to Joy Grosnick. She was the only competitor in Women's Physique. In the figure division, the Masters class over 50 went to Robin Schwantz. The over 40 went to Amy Royale. And the over 30 went to Yusmary Cortez. And in the overall Masters figure, Amy Royale, the over 40 winner, won the overall. In the novice figure, a lot of competitors in that, 16 total competitors. Omara Omi Vasquez, she won the overall. And Amy Royale was in second place in that division. In the open figure, 20 competitors, another big division. The Amy Royale won Class A, Omi Vasquez won Class B, Maud Extantis won Class C, and Anna Sa won Class D. And then in the overall, Omi Vasquez wins her second overall victory of the night. So congratulations to Omi. She did very, very well, winning 2 divisions in the figure division. All right, let's go over to men's physique. In the masters division, Kyle Miko was the winner there. In the teen division, Jack Stein was the winner. Quite a few teen men's physique competitors, so that's getting bigger. Novice men's physique, very big class, 28 competitors. Cornelio Severino won Class A, William Gagliardo won Class B, and Carlton Jackson won Class C. And Carlton Jackson won the overall there, so congratulations to him. In men's physique open, Class A went to Adolphe Adris. We saw Adolphe at the Royal Palm Championships a couple weeks ago. He won the overall there, so he wins Class A out here. Congratulations to him. Collin Robinson, who we're going to talk to in a minute, he's going to be our guest on the show this week. He won Class B. And Raul Porras won Class C. And then in the overall, Collin Robinson was the overall winner, so congratulations to him. Bikini Masters, our over 50 winner was Sydney Sweeney. Over 40 went to Madeleine Fiorani, and over 30 went to Legna Gonzalez. And Legna also had a great night in the bikini division. She won the overall in the Masters. And then we go to the novice. Nanette Mudafort won Class A. Legna Gonzalez won Class B again. And then Sandy Nochi won Class C. And Samantha Mueller won Class D. They had 36 competitors in the bikini novice. And again, the overall went to Legna Gonzalez. So she wins the Masters and the novice. Congratulations to Legna. And then the open bikini, the final division of the evening, Allison Genesta won Class A. We've seen Allison compete before. She looked very good. Nathalia Doom won Class B, and she beat out Legna Gonzalez, who got second place in that division. Anna Royster won Class C, and then Alessandra Givens won Class D, and Nathalia Doom, Class B winner, was the overall winner. Big, big division, 52 competitors in Bikini Open. So congratulations to Natalia Doom on winning that. And congratulations to Andreas Miller, the promoter of the contest. Very, very big contest. The Ruby Championships also, always a lot of competition in that contest. I know it was really big last year also. All right, let's go over to the Daytona Beach Classic. I think this was the 5th year that Mike Matassa and Tony Curtis put this contest on. Another big night. I think over 100 competitors competed. We'll start off with the Masters Men's Bodybuilding. Theodore Hurst won both the over 70 and over 60 division. He looked really good for over 70 years old. Brian Silk Sr. won the over 50 division, and Brian just had a big night at the Lakeland Classic a few weeks ago. His son was also competing. I think Brian took second in the open division, and his son, Brian Silk Jr., got 4th. So that's great that he's got his son competing in bodybuilding also. Over 40 division had 2 classes. Derek Peltier won the lightweight class, and Jeff Johnson was the over 40 heavyweight winner, and then Jeff Johnson won the over 40 overall. And then in the overall Masters bodybuilding, Jeff Johnson was again the winner. Jeff Johnson was a really, really impressive bodybuilder. He's from Atlanta, Georgia. He doesn't live in the Florida area, but very impressive. He just took second place in the over 40 division at the North America. So Jeff's a really impressive bodybuilder, very thick, very big guy. He's been training since he was 14 years old, and he's now, I think, 48. So he's been training for 34 years, and you can tell, man, this guy's got a very impressive physique. Right when he came out, the whole crowd was really in awe of how thick and big this guy was. In the teen bodybuilding division, Matthias Oliveira was the winner there. We'll go over to the Masters figure division. Edith Leclerc was the winner in the over 50. They did not have an over 40. And then Esther Kelly was the winner in the over 30, and Esther Kelly won the overall. She's training with Eric and Kelly Diffenderfer and Team Freak Physique, and she's been training with them for about a year, and she's really made a difference in her physique. She looks great. Novice figure went to Samantha Feinberg. She looked really, really good. Great smile on stage, great shape. Teen bikini went to Kaylee Costantis, if I'm saying that right. Novice bikini went to Lisa Bornaski. 20 competitors in the novice bikini. So congratulations to Lisa, that was a big win. Masters bikini in the over 50 division, Valerie Ward was the winner. Patricia Canule won the over 40. Robin Bartkowitz won the over 35. And Crystal Mahoon won the over 30. In the overall Masters bikini, Patricia Canuel, who was the over 40 winner, won the overall. This was her third time competing at the Daytona Beach Classic, and she finally got that overall victory. So congratulations to Patricia. In the teen men's physique, Ricky Stakowski was the winner there. Novice men's physique went to Joey Wahlberg, who was also competing in his very first contest. Joey had a real thick but very hard physique. Joey is the husband of Dinah Wahlberg. Dinah Wahlberg has been competing for many years. She's a national level competitor. I think she's competed in like 5 contests this year on the national level. And we did an interview with Joey and Dinah right after the contest. So it was his very first show. Congratulations to Joey Wahlberg. Had a great debut as a competitor. Dean Perrone was the Masters men's physique winner in the over 40 tall class. And Chip Wheeler was the Masters men's physique winner in the short class over 40. They had an overall in that, and Chip Wheeler won the over 40 Masters men's physique. The over 30 Masters men's physique again went to Joey Wahlberg. And then in the overall Masters men's physique, of course, Joey Wahlberg wins the overall. So he cleaned up tonight. Figure open went to Samantha Feinberg, who was also our novice winner. She won Class A. Esther Kelly won Class B in the figure open. And Carrie Wessinger won Class C. In the overall, Esther Kelly wins her second overall of the night. So congratulations to Esther. Big night for her. All right, men's physique open. Short class goes again to Joey Wahlberg. Jorge Rodriguez, another big winner on the local Florida level. He just won his class at the Iron Bay contest. He was the winner in Class B. Kenny Smith won Class C. And then in the overall, you guessed it, Joey Wahlberg wins his third overall. What a debut. He's never going to forget that night. Bikini Open, Danica Montserrat wins Class A. Lisa Borneski, who was our novice winner, she wins Class B. And Heather Flavel won Class C. And then in the overall, Lisa Borneski wins again her second overall victory. So congratulations to her. And then finally, they finished off with the men's bodybuilding open. Louis Passanti won the lightweight class. Robert Fuhrer won the middleweight class. Andrew Geiler Schumann won the light heavyweights. Free Thompson won the heavyweight. He was very psyched up on stage. He had the mohawk and he was doing a lot of screaming. And then the super heavyweights, I should say, went to Jeff Johnson again, our Masters winner. Jeff Johnson was just too big and too thick. Nobody could compare to him tonight. He wins the overall there. And he may be going into the All-South contest on the first weekend of November, so we might see him back in the Florida area. So congratulations to Jeff Johnson. Very impressive physique. They also had 2 guest posers that night. Danny Reardon, fresh off her 4th place at the Women's Physique Olympia, was in the house. She was riding high. You could tell she was still high from the whole experience of being at the Olympia. She was a guest poser. Danny always does a great routine. I got to give her props, man. Every time she comes out with some great music, does some really great poses. I always got to appreciate the people that put effort into their posing routines, and Danny's just a real natural at it. And then Michael Lockett was also a guest poser. Michael was incredible to see in person. Super huge and thick and very ripped. Shredded glutes on this guy is amazing. So I'm sure he's going to make a real impact on the pro level scene coming up in 2016. So that was it. Great show. We did a lot of great interviews at that show, so please check it out. Go to the contest reports link right on top of Florida Physique, and you will see contest reports. Click on that and you'll see all the contest interviews for the whole year. But we've got all the interviews from the Daytona Beach Classic right up there, all the winners, including we also did an interview with Danny Reardon, and we did an interview with Candace Keene, who just took 5th place at the Figure Olympia last weekend. And so it's always good to talk to Candace. She was in the audience handing out trophies. So we got a chance to talk to her about her plans for 2016, and she also might be competing in 2 competitions this year. So we'll look for her there. So thanks again to everybody for having us out, and it was a great contest. All right, we're going to take a break and hear from our sponsors. When we come back, we're going to have our 2 interviews of the week. Collin Robinson, our men's physique open winner at the Ruby Championships. He won Class B. And then we're going to have an interview with promoter Tim Gardner, who is going to be promoting the Hurricane Bay this weekend. We're really excited about seeing that. So stay tuned. We'll be right back with the Florida Physique Report. Check out NFE All Natural Warrior Supplements, featuring pure isolate protein made with natural stevia flavor, 1 gram of sugar and no fat. NFE Trim, thermogenic fat burner, boost your metabolism, suppress your appetite, build strength, develop muscle, and shed that body fat. Go to NFE.com today.
NFE stands for No Freaking Excuses.
All right, welcome back to the Florida Physique Report. And my guest this week is Collin Robinson. And Collin just won the overall at the Ruby Championships last weekend. And it's good to talk to you, Collin. How you doing?
Excellent. How are you doing? Thank you for having me.
All right. It's great to talk to somebody from the South Florida region. Usually I do my interviews with the people out here in Central Florida, so it's good to talk to one of you guys out there.
Yes, sir. Down in Davie.
Yeah. And where you at? Where you living now?
Davie, Florida, down by Fort Lauderdale, a little bit west.
Okay, great. So tell us a little bit about this show. I saw the pictures. We got the photo report up on FloridaPhysique.com. It looked like a really big contest. I think they had over 270 competitors.
It was, actually. I was kind of laughing because when we walked in to register for the first show that I did, the SOMI, it was a fairly small show, but still a national qualifier, so fairly big.
Yeah.
We walked in to register, and there was just about every bit of 275 people in the room getting ready to register. Even I was kind of looking around to see how many other physique guys were there total, and there was, to my eye, about 70 to 100, I would say. I might be high, but there was a lot of people and a lot of teams there, like a lot of teams really well represented. Team Lolita was out there. It was probably about 100 people of hers alone. Wow. Huge show, huge show. Big stage, big auditorium, lots of people.
Yeah.
Lots of fun, though.
The shows in South Florida are amazing. They're so big. Like, you know, there's a lot of national qualifiers out there, but especially men's physique and bikini out there is just, it's crazy. The numbers are just amazing.
Oh, yeah. Actually, men's physique, bikini, I'd say there is probably the most out of all the classes, obviously. I'm assuming that's the case with a lot of the shows, but there was probably a little under 100 chicks for bikini. There wasn't that many bodybuilding competitors. I'd say there was probably 10 or 12.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So this was your second show, right? You did the SOMI, and that was your first contest?
Yes, sir. That's exactly right.
How many years you been training now, Collin?
Total probably about 4 or 5. I started obviously earlier in high school. I was playing football, but I mean it wasn't, the training wasn't as intelligent or organized. I did have a very good strength coach, but I think when you're 16, 17, 18, you don't really know what you're doing as much as you should. So I'd say once I turned 18 or 19, went away to college, started taking it a little more seriously. And for these shows, I mean, I only prepped for the SOMI for 8 weeks, a couple weeks beforehand, and just dieted a little, you know, more seriously, took the training to a more intelligent, organized level, and got it done.
So what was your physique like when you decided to get into physique?
I mean, I was a little lighter, just probably hanging a little higher body fat. I wasn't honestly that far off, though, from where most guys could probably cut down a little bit and get on stage. I did want to take the time and build a little bit of extra muscle, though. I believe that to be competitive in South Florida, there's a lot of guys, especially at the Ruby. I want to pay them as many compliments as I can. The other guys who were there, that was a very competitive show, and a lot of those guys looked really great. Even being heavier guys, you would assume that they would kind of have a softer look to them. Everybody looked really great. Yeah. So when I first started, I wasn't, you know, heavy, but I wanted to cut down, but also put some extra size on.
Right. What made you decide to want to start competing? Was there a show, or was there somebody else competing in it that got you motivated to do it?
Actually, my coach, who I work with now, is a close friend of mine, and he's competed before, and also he's coached other athletes, and he's known me forever. And he also has kind of, I guess, an admiration would probably be the best word for, I guess, the ability and the physique that I've had, just kind of doing it casually for a long time. And he's always been telling me, you know, when are you going to let me coach you? I wish you would just let me pick a show. And I asked him a couple questions about it, and I was trying to find out a little more, I guess, about what it would be like to compete. And it sounded like it would be something that I would enjoy. So we looked at the NPC schedule of events, picked a show, and went for it.
So what was your experience like, Collin, doing that SOMI Classic? How was that, being your first time on stage?
The Somi was awesome, and actually, the night before, I actually kind of had an internal conversation, kind of like, is this really what you want to do? You know, I've played football my whole life. I've ran track, you know, and it seemed like something that would be a completely new experience for me. I loved it from that night forward. First, all the competitors are so friendly. Everybody's so nice, from the people in the crowd to the expediters to the everybody is so nice.
Yeah,
it's really an awesome sport, you know, and especially at the Ruby too. I made lots of new friends too. I've really enjoyed it the whole time, where I thought I would not enjoy it for the reason that people would probably not be as nice. I don't know.
Right.
Exception, but people are really awesome. And after the show, people have nothing but great things to say to you. Being on stage is fun. You'd think, you know, that you would get a little bit of stage fright, but you really don't. Honestly, you get up there, go have some fun, and smile big.
How'd you do at the Somi?
At the Somi, I got second in the novice and third in the open. So I did qualify nationally in my height class, third in the open. But at the Ruby, obviously, I won my class, and then I won the overall. Honestly, at the Somi, we walked in, and I knew I had the capability, I suppose, to do well potentially, but you never know. And I just really wanted to get the experience. I was really happy with the placing that I had. It was a very competitive show too, for it being so small. They had some guys out there who looked great.
Now, after the Somi, did you look at pictures and see yourself in comparison with everybody else and say, okay, this is what I need to work on, or this is what I need to do?
Yeah, that's exactly. Actually, my coach obviously had me doing progress pictures week by week by week, and I definitely looked at the stage shots from the Somi, and I had things that I felt didn't show up as well as I wanted them to on stage day, but also you get a good idea for what you do want to kind of tweak as far as training and maybe as far as nutrition too. And I wanted to show up a little tighter as far as water weight that goes on show day. You know, obviously it's different between the morning show and the night show, but I definitely did want to make some adjustments in the stage shots. Do really hope to see how you look under the light with your tank, with everything. You know, it's different taking it in your living room with the downward light.
right.
You look a little different. So once you get on stage, you get a good idea.
Now, that being your first show, Collin, did you have to change your posing a lot? Because I know, you know, we always learn from every show we do about the posing.
The funny thing is, for the Somi, we had prepared for weeks and weeks and weeks, and I told my coach that the only part of it that I was worried about was the posing. And we had put a routine in a couple weeks earlier and went with it for probably 6 or 7 weeks. Then the night before the show, we had decided to change some of the poses and obviously some of the transitions. And then we ended up showing up to the Somi and doing a completely different routine that I hadn't practiced but, you know, 12 hours before. I think, honestly, though, my feeling on it is that if you show up and do whatever you're going to do 100%, if you're going to do a full speed, you know, most people won't see either that you're uncomfortable or that it's a new routine to you. You know, you just got to show up and do it. For the Ruby, we changed it, and it was good also to talk to some of the judges, because you get to see and hear what they want out of you as far as posing goes. You know, a lot of, like, we wanted to see more of a full front as opposed to a broken side and stuff like that, where we felt that was my better, you know, kind of poses. So we led with those in the Somi, but in the Ruby, completely different.
Yeah. A lot of people may not realize, who haven't competed, but like if you're in men's physique, you're really only standing from the front and the back. So it's really important that you have your presentation down. Exactly.
That's really what they want to see, is a balance. They want to see symmetry, and they want to see someone who's willing to stand face them. And that was one of the judges actually told me. He said, I like you because you're willing to give us a full front and a full back, and because you know, you didn't try to break everything.
Yeah, that's true. I've been to a lot of prejudgings, and it's like the guys always want to twist. They don't want to stand straight on, you know.
They do, and one of the judges told me, he said, you know what that tells me? That tells me that you don't feel as confident about the other side, where I think that's not what guys, you know, they may feel confident with that side, but it does give them that kind of illusion of the smaller waist, but they still do want to see you straight on.
So how did it go with the Ruby then? Obviously, it was a bigger contest, and you go in, and how did you feel the competition went?
Honestly, before the show, I hate to say it, I was looking around at some of the other guys, and I told my coach, I said, I don't know, man. I think I'm going to go up there, and I'm going to, you know, smile big, and I'm going to try, but we'll see.
Right.
And I little small moment during first call out, so many guys in our class, too, that they start doing them, and I was number 131. And the guy in front of me, number 130, I thought he looked great. John, they're doing the call outs, and they called, like, I don't know, 112, 113, 114, 117. And I said, wow, man, I didn't get first call outs. You know, there's no way they're going to skip 20 of these great looking guys in front of me and call me up there. And they ended up, I had a small heart attack when they called me up there. And the guys, honestly, even backstage watching the guys pump up, I was in awe of some of them. I mean, you never really get to see yourself, so I kind of gained some confidence back after looking at the stage shots and some of the backstage pictures and stuff. So you see, okay, I did belong in the building, I suppose.
Yeah, that's true. It does get intimidating backstage because everybody looks great when they're pumping up and putting the oil on and stuff. Exactly.
It's good because they're so friendly, and you can kind of take some of the air out of it by, you know, just talking to some of them. Honestly, you know, everybody's cool.
So how was the experience of winning? I mean, that had to be amazing, huh? Going in your second show and winning the whole thing at a big show like this, especially.
I can't describe the feeling. I hate to say it. I go into every you know, anything ever expecting, you know, not expecting, but trying and doing it as if I will win. But you know, realistically, you know, at a physique contest, there's a lot of guys competing, and you don't lose if you get second or third, you know what I'm saying? But to get first overall is obviously the thing that everybody wants.
Yeah.
To hear, it was just such a special, you know, feeling to hear my name called, especially for my class alone. I was already on cloud 9. After they told me I won my class, I said, all right, man, I'm happy enough for tonight. That's and then go out, do the pose down for the overall. And I was kind of looking up into the lights, like waiting on them to call my name, and I lost my composure a little bit for a second. I got really excited.
Well, that's great. So what do you got planned next? What contest you gonna do? You gonna do anything more this year?
I think we might take the rest of the year off. What I wanted to do was put a little bit more size on. I know Nationals is in November.
Yeah.
But I honestly, I look at some of those guys, and obviously I have a lot of confidence in my own preparation and everything. I just feel that to be competitive with a lot of those guys, national shows are completely different than national qualifier shows. And I think there's a lot of really, really quality, you know, physique guys that show up there. And I'd like to put some more size on, and I feel like I didn't have the time between the Somi and the Ruby to make great adjustments where I showed up a little tighter, but honestly I lost a little bit of weight, and I was going down, 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 where I want to show up probably closer in the 195, 205 range just for my physique.
Okay. What do you think about this new classical physique that's starting in 2016? Have you thought about maybe trying that, or do you like men's physique better?
The funny thing is I have the capability of getting up in weight if I really, you know, eat for that. I think the intention that they have, I could be wrong, but I think they want some of the bodybuilding guys to go down.
Yeah.
As a lot of the physique guys are going to try to jump up, which is good. You know what I'm saying? You can still do that, but I think they were trying to alter, you know, the category of bodybuilding as opposed to ours. But I am interested to see. I'd like to see a couple of the shows first and just see some of the guys. I know some physique guys actually who have declared already that they're going to cross over and they're going to go to classic physique. I think it's a good division, honestly, and I think that it's going to be good for the sport because it gives it's a more aesthetic and more accessible kind of look, you know, to the average person. I think fans of the sport, you know, they're obviously really, you know, heavily involved fans of bodybuilding, but the average person might not be as into that look, you know what I'm saying? And it might not be an accessible, realistic thing for them. Classic is going to be a good thing. I'm excited for it. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I'm excited about it too. I'm looking forward to seeing what happens. I think there, like you said, there's a lot of men's physique guys I think are interested in doing it, and even a lot of bodybuilders that haven't competed for a while that maybe don't like the way bodybuilding is now that are going to come back into the sport and do it.
Yeah, some of them, I know some of them have mentioned the idea of they are thinking about dropping down probably 15 or 20 pounds, and they're excited to do that because they can be tighter and they can give a more conditioned look at a lighter weight. Yeah, and I think for some guys that might be good for their health. For some guys, they just feel a little more comfortable being at a lighter weight, and they might have a better look being down 15, 20 pounds. We'll see.
Right. So what are you doing now, Collin? You're in school now?
Yeah, I'm going to school at FIU. I'm a dietetics and nutrition student, and also I work at a supplement warehouse in Davie. And actually recently just signed with iForce Nutrition as a brand ambassador.
Oh, congratulations. That's great.
Thank you very much. Huge week. So
really. Sure was.
Exactly.
All right, Collin. Well, listen, I know you got to get back to school, but I appreciate you taking the time to talk to us, and congratulations on your win at the Ruby. You seem like a nice young man, and we look forward to seeing you compete in the future.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you for having me.
All right, buddy. Thanks for joining us on the Florida Physique Report.
All right. Have a good day.
All right, you too. All right, this is John Hansen with the Florida Physique Report, and we are here with the promoter extraordinaire himself, Tim Gardner. How you doing, Tim?
Hey, John. How you doing?
Only days before the Tampa Pro Show, the PBW Championships, I should say, the Tampa Pro Show. So this is now your 7th year, right, Tim?
Actually, it's our 8th.
8th year.
8th year, yeah.
All right. So it's going to be bigger and better than ever, I'm assuming?
That's what us promoters say. It's always going to be bigger and better this year.
Right. So, Tim, one of the things that's interesting about your pro show is that you have so many divisions. I don't think any other pro show does this. You have like every division. You have women's bodybuilding, you have fitness, women's physique, men's physique. You have the 212 men, you have the open men. What am I forgetting? Figure, of course, bikini.
Fitness.
Fitness, yes. Fitness is, that's not always around.
Yeah, there are 8 IFBB open classes. So we've got all those covered, and with an additional 4 masters, over 40.
Right. Now that's new this year, right? Because you didn't have that last year.
Right. It's new for Tampa. We have figure, men's physique, women's physique, and bikini. Yeah, over 40.
And that's great because the Masters are huge. I mean, if you ever see the Masters Nationals or like the Masters divisions at the North America, it's huge.
Well, what I was kind of hoping when I implemented the additional classes, that we'd bring out some people out of retirement, so to speak, But and I kind of steady it. There's not really anyone that'll just do masters and not do open. Since they're here, they go ahead and cross over.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure if that's really attracting the masters or if are they already competing. So I'll have to look at that a little bit closer.
Okay. Now, in addition to Tampa, what other pro shows are you doing? Because I know you're super busy. You're doing local shows, you're doing pro shows, and you're not even just in Florida. You're doing them all over.
Yeah, we have 4 pro-ams. Okay. We're in Chicago, Puerto Rico, Tampa, of course, and San Antonio, Texas. Yeah.
Now, the Puerto Rico show, that was new this year.
That was an inaugural show, as well as San Antonio is going to be.
Okay. And
the unique thing about San Antonio is we are carrying the torch for IFBB women bodybuilding. We have a portion of the show called the IFBB Wings of Strength Rising Phoenix World Championships, and it is showcasing the finest in women bodybuilding. So we'll have 17, 18 of the world's top female bodybuilders.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, Wings of Strength is your big sponsor here too, right?
They're a presenting sponsor here. They're actually the title sponsor in Chicago as well as San Antonio.
Okay. And they're big supporters of women's bodybuilding and all the women's events, right?
Yeah, very big supporters, but not, I don't want them to say they're just exclusive to women bodybuilding, because they do so much for the entire sport. Yeah. I mean, Jake and Crystal, Jake's got such a love for, he says, hey, you got to make sure you have open bodybuilding, so all right, we'll get open bodybuilding in it. But, the 212s, but yeah, it's not the focus just isn't on women bodybuilding, but yeah, I can say just on a, personally that when I started carrying the flag back in 2009, because there was a scare that they were going to, the industry was going to completely drop female bodybuilding. Yeah. And then so people like Dan Solomon, Bob Ciccarello, Sean Ray, they got on the radio with me and said, what do we need to do? And what do we need to do to get behind you? So that's how all that happened. Then just kind of out of nowhere, here comes Jake Wood, Wings of Strength, then Crystal, and it's been a great endeavor since. We work well together, and the athletes know that we are there for them.
Yeah. Now, how did the Puerto Rico show go? Because that was interesting, going out of the country to do it, but that's a big hotbed for bodybuilding. We get a lot of competitors, especially out here in Florida, from Puerto Rico. So how did that go overall?
Well, going into it, I really didn't know. I was anticipating that I knew we'd have a good flow of athletes. What I didn't realize, the numbers were incredible. I mean, especially for that weekend. It was Memorial Day weekend. Yeah. I want to say there were 6 shows, 4 or 5 pro shows, all in the same weekend, one being the Arnold Brazil. And then and there was also a national NPC show with Trey Bennett's Junior USA. But in spite of that and the holiday weekend, we had record numbers for our inaugural year. We had over 100 pros. We had almost, we were in the 200 entries for the NPC. But what I didn't realize, the passion and the support from the friends and family. I mean, you would have thought we were at a rock concert. I mean, but from start to finish, the enthusiasm and just the support, not just for, you know, their friends, but for the show, you know. And they were so appreciative at the end, you know. And I don't know, it's because there's so many shows in the States, but, you know, I felt like they were going to do ticker tape parade for me, you know, for bringing the show to Puerto Rico. So I'm very excited, you know, to be the NPC Puerto Rico chairman there, and I've got some big things planned. As soon as we're through with San Antonio, my focus is on a few things of building Puerto Rico and NPC numbers. One of them is, I think in December, we're going to be able to get Gifted Nutrition with Janet Layu and possibly Phil Heath at one of our sanction meetings and a Q&A, you know, for the Puerto Rican athletes. So, so if you're listening, NPC Puerto Rico, I got a big surprise for you.
That's great. And then one of the other things I like about the Tampa show, the few times I've been here, is the Ben Weider Award that you give out. What's that all about? Yes, Ben Weider. I can tell you a personal story that it just makes me have goosebumps. But yes, Ben Weider. He's the epitome of everything that all of us started lifting, you know, that iron for. Just like the book he wrote with Joe, you know, Brothers of Iron. The Ben Weider Lifetime Achievement Award, it symbolizes someone that has come up through the ranks and expressed their passion, you know, for bodybuilding. He or she, and the people that look up to these individuals, and they're quite the inspiration on and off the stage, and someone that we know Ben would agree, and you know, and kind of endorse it with a pat on the right shoulder. Now, did you start that when Ben was still alive? He actually, we did. He was well aware of it, quite honored, and both he and his son Eric played a very integral role in picking our early winners. Actually, with Ben, it would only been Chris Dickerson. But Dan Solomon does a good job of, like, we kind of survey the land, and we come up with candidates, and Jim Mannion plays a big part of who's selected as well. And we want to make sure it's a perfect fit, and that they are individuals that everyone aspires to be like. You've had some great winners. You had, like you said, Chris Dickerson and Lee Labrada, Rich Gaspari, Lee Haney, right? Linda Murray, Corey Everson. We started off with Chris Dickerson, year one, then Lee Haney, Rich Gaspari, Lee Labrada, Dexter Jackson out of Florida, and Corey Everson and Linda Murray. And this year we're going to have our guest of honor as coming to Tampa is Mr. Vince Taylor. That's a good choice. Yeah. And he's also a Floridian. He is. He's been in and out of Florida, but yeah, going way back at me as a competitor myself, he was such inspiration to watch pose and how he had such muscle control but still be tapered. But you could tell he put a lot of thought in choreographing his routines. But he had a way of giving to the audience, and of course then he would go out after show into the audience and make sure every fan was satisfied and getting an autograph or a handshake or a picture, and that's Vince Taylor. Yeah, he had a great attitude all the time. Yeah. So this is going to be now. Last year, did you have the pros over 2 days like you're having this year? We did. I think last year was the first time we split it up for Tampa. Yeah. So what do we got going on this weekend? On Friday, we've got half of the pro shows. Friday, let's see. Going off memory, we have men's physique, women's physique, figure. Let me do it backwards. On Saturday, we have open men bodybuilding, open women bodybuilding, fitness, and bikini and masters bikini. 5 classes. We have 7 classes that'll be presented on Friday. And then the amateurs, which is the Tim Gardner Extravaganza, that'll be on Saturday also.
Right. The Tampa Extravaganza is a national qualifier. Definitely going to have record numbers there. I think we may be close to 300 entries.
Wow, really? What did you have last year, like close to 2?
Entry-wise, I think we're just a little over like 224. So with that 300 entries, that'll be about, usually the formula is half of your competitors will cross over. So we're going to be real close to 200 athletes and 300 entries.
Wow. Amazing. Well, Tim, we wish you the best of luck this weekend. I think it's probably the biggest weekend in bodybuilding for Tampa, of the whole year. And this year looks to be bigger and better than ever. Are you pretty excited?
Always excited.
All right, Tim. Well, thanks for joining us on the Florida Physique Report. And, of course, we're going to have interviews and photos and everything all weekend long. So thanks again for having us out, Tim.
Thank you, John.
All right. For Tim Gardner, this is the Florida Physique Report.
Thank you. That was fun.
All right. Thanks for joining us again for the Florida Physique Report, episode number 43. Thanks to Tim Gardner for his interview, and also thanks to Collin Robinson for stopping in and interviewing with us. We will be back next week with the results of the Hurricane Bay. So you check us out next week. We'll have some interviews on that show as well. We will see you next week. Have a great weekend, everybody.